Hello, is Osadi there?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Is that Osadi?
Yes, sir. I will inform the students, sir. Just wait a few minutes, sir.
Sorry?
I will inform the students, sir. Just wait few minutes.
All right, okay. No, never mind. If you
Okay.
can set all these things, then it will be all right. I will try to. This has been okay. I will try to start with this. Can you see the presentation now?
Yes, sir. It's visible. We can see.
You can see me also, right?
Recording in progress. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then normally how many students are coming to this lecture?
25, 30, around 25, 30 students, sir.
Around 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we'll have to wait for some time.
Yeah, sir. We just wait for 7 p.m.
Huh?
Shall we wait for 7 p.m., sir?
Say it again.
Shall we wait for 7 p.m., sir? At
All right.
7 we can at 7 we can start, sir.
Yeah. We'll start by about 7 o'clock. Then everybody will be ready. This is a third intake or second intake, Shadi?
This is the third intake, sir.
Right. So they have participated for procurement lectures before this, right?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Procurement practice and procurement
Procurement
planning,
planning and
procurement decision making.
procurement decision making, right? So I think I have done one lecture for them. Is it correct? No?
Yes, procurement planning lectures have done.
Yeah, procurement planning, I did some lecture, no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Oh, shall we start then?
Okay, so we can start.
Yeah. Okay, good afternoon. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
No voice, nothing.
Good evening, sir.
Right, okay. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You
you
are
are
audible
audible.
and visible.
Yeah. I don't know why
Yeah,
this
I can hear you.
voice is not enough.
No, all okay,
No, sir, it
all
is
good,
okay,
sir,
sir.
for me.
Sorry.
It's
It's
okay,
okay.
sir.
All good.
We can hear you.
Ah,
All
right, okay. Only thing your
All
participation is,
good, sir.
yeah, good evening. Your participation is very essential because not like a physical class, the Zoom class, there are some disadvantages. I can't see your faces. I can't see whether you can understand or not. If you have any questions, only thing that the dialogue is very important. If you have any problem, you can ask me without any hesitation. You can ask me. Then I can explain you all. When I ask some question that you can answer. Whether the answer is correct or not, it doesn't matter. You can answer wherever possible. Otherwise, sometimes I don't know whether you are there or somebody is listening that. It's very difficult sometimes to understand because this is a Zoom class. Okay. I think this is third batch. I did one class for you all, one or two classes in procurement planning. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You did foreign funded regarding foreign funded agencies.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now yeah. Now today we are going to start with another section called contract management process. Now the problem comes with this. Now I don't know how many people are involved in procurement. How many people are involved in contract management, contract signing, and that type of things. So I'll have to tell you the lecture to common to everybody. Sometimes you may know these things and some others not. Therefore, it is very difficult to say that in which level I want to do the lecture. Now, for example, if it is a university students, university batch, final year students, okay, all are in the same level. So it's very easy to teach you all. So, but this type of class, it's a little bit difficult, but try to bear it with me. I will try my best to tell you all how to do this. When it comes to the contract management, now contracts are there. You know, there are so many contracts in Sri Lanka. Wherever you do the procurement, large contracts, you'll have to sign the contract. And after that, you'll have to sign the contract agreement or a contract also. Now, say for example, you want to put up in a country wants to put up a hospital building or a highway from Yakkala to Nigambu, something like that. So those are very huge contracts. So you'll have to sign the contract. Now, the best thing, you always think now you are in that. Maybe you are a project manager, or you are a contract manager, or you are a procurement specialist, or you are a ministry, from ministry, the procurement entity head, procurement specialist. Like that, all these areas we are going to cover. What you have to do is, you come to this situation and just listen. No need to write down because I will give you all these lecture notes. Only thing, listen, and if there is a problem, any question you ask me. Any question you can ask me. I will try to explain. Right. Contract management is when you, after you do all these your procurement matters, you do the evaluation by the evaluation committee, and the procurement committee will give the approval if you are in a government side or a company. The procurement committee will give the approval. So after that, you are going to start the contract. So now we'll see what are the steps that you will have to follow. Little bit of definitions are there. You can understand contract management ensures that agreements are executed effectively, considering all regulations, legal matters, financial matters, and operational requirements. All these things covered in this contract management. And also the contract commencement as well as the closure. The contract is commenced, then sometime later after the contract period, it will close. Maybe that some contractors, they are asking for the extension, variations. Those are different issues. We are talking about the contract management, how to tackle the main things. So I was talking about the agreements. When we are talking about the agreement is not a contract. Agreement is not legally binding. Contract is the legally binding document. So that is why say, however, an agreement is not a contract unless it meets few criteria such as offer, acceptance, considerations, legal capacity and legality. All these things are get together, maybe different agreement get together, and then it will come to a complete contract. Now first, we will see the commencement of contract. How to start the contract? Or what are the steps we will have to follow? Now the commencement phase ensures the contractual obligations are properly started. With two or more parties, the contract holders can be a government and a contractor, or government and a joint venture with the two contractors or three contractors. There, when it comes to the large contracts, there can be about partners. There may be about 5-6 partners. If you are working in a project, the project director, one party, and you are in that project. And the contractors are there. Maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4. 2 or more parties, that's what I say. There are few steps to be considered in contract commencement. When you start to the contract, you have to follow a few things. One is contract award, then acceptance. Yes, if you are in a ministry, you arrange all the contract award up to contract award, right? That is past. Huh? You have done everything. Procurement matters are all over. I told you all. Then it comes to the contract award to the correct person. And he will have to accept it. Otherwise, contract is not completed. You are trying to give him award the contract to the contractor. He will have to accept it. That is the final stage of commencement process. Because if contractor say, no, I don't want to, I can't sign this contract, then there is no contract. These are very simple to understand. If there's a difficult place, I will explain more. where the selected bidder formally agrees to the contract terms and obligations. After acceptance, that means he agrees to the contract terms and obligations. This phase ensures mutual understanding and compliance before project execution begins. That is the number one. So in this step, some areas are there you will have to consider. Special consideration has to be given those areas. Now say, contract award and acceptance. I have already explained. And there are some other things also to do. Contract mobilization, activation of the contract, right? And end of the contract, the kickoff meeting. That is the end. That is the closeout. Contract award and acceptance stage, all negotiations you will have to finalize with the contractor. You means you are a, say, procurement specialist or the project manager or a secretary to the ministry. It's all depend on who, depending on the threshold. Threshold means the value of the contract. If it is a large contract, maybe the person from the government side may be a secretary, the highest position, or the additional secretary. If it's a project, maybe a project director or a project specialist. Procurement specialist has to be there. Number 2 is signing the contract by both parties. I told you all. Formal acceptance letter issued. That also I explained. We will issue from the ministry, we will issue acceptance letter to that party, contractor. He will have to accept by a letter. Then we'll come to that finalization of negotiations. Now you have come to that stage. Yes, please.
Sir, now letter of acceptance, it is issued by the PE, no, sir?
Yeah, procurement entity.
Okay. Then after that, the contract.
Just a minute. Signed by the relevant officer, right?
Yeah.
No one officer, signed by relevant officer. If it's a large threshold, then secretary or additional secretary. Oh, okay, right. Go ahead.
Then, sir, then again, the contractor should sign again some document. He need to give that his acceptance or acknowledgement he need to give.
He'll have to accept it. Acceptance has to be there. Some places they will prepare two parts in a letter. One, now bank, now if you are going to put a fixed deposit in a bank, in the letter first page, you will have to give your details, how much you are going to put, your signature, all these things in that. Then there is another portion called, those days it's called office use only, right? So that is the bank side, they will have to prepare and accept and all these things. Like that in a contract also, there are two parts in that letter. Oh, that is one option, right? Two parts. You prepare and you say, I accept and I award this contract to you. There are some standard formats for that. And also in the same letter, you can say, right, there is another extra, this thing, the attachment that you'll have to fill and send it to us if you accept it. All these conditions are there. Sometimes in a letter, you can send the acceptance letter and you can ask that fellows also to send your acceptance, their acceptance. But better always to have a standard formats for that. There are format standards for that.
Sir, can you, I have still doubt that, I didn't clear this one. Letter of award and letter of acceptance, this is both the case are same or it is two different, two different party, like the contractor is issuing letter of acceptance and the government, the employer is issuing letter of award. Is that so? Or this is the same case that a letter of award and letter of acceptance are the same
No.
or different?
Different. That means I
Different.
will tell you, I will explain you. Now I decided to award the contract to you, but I can't send you the letter straight away to you to accept it. Because you might say, no, I'm not accepting this. I don't want this contract. Whatever the reason, there are some other steps following that. It's a different issue. Now, normally you can say, no, I'm not going to accept it. So there are two situations. After you accept only, I can prepare the contract. And then both parties can sign it. So there.
Sir,
Yeah.
sorry, sir, before that, contract is giving his offer, no? This offer is contract is given mean he is willing to take this contract. So in that case, employer is accepting mean that is it is generating contract, no sir?
No.
Isn't it?
In the meantime, after he giving the offer, later he can say, no, I'm not going to take over the contract. Whatever the reason. Maybe he might, there are so many cases like that. Then in that case, the bid securities we forfeit, we encash the bid securities, and all these things are there. Sometimes we are going to blacklist these type of contractors, but they can say, no, I'm not going to accept it. After accept, if we say yes, I accept, then we'll come to the contract signing stage, both parties.
Okay, sir. Sir, but I need just can you explain that letter of award and letter of acceptance? These two difference. Can you please explain this one?
Yeah,
Letter of
letter of
award and letter
acceptance.
of acceptance.
Yeah, contract award now it is coming like this. There are so many stages. Have you heard standstill period? Have anyone there heard about
Yes, sir.
standstill?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, yes.
The period that has been given to give our objections.
That's right.
Reg-
So all these things, before all these things, you will have to get the clarification from the bidder whether he is accepting the contract. That is, you'll have to take it from him. Otherwise, he might say, no, I'm not going to accept it. Whatever the reason. Depends on his situation. No money, bankrupt, or the bank is not prepared to give the money, or something like that. So all these, because before it's happening everything, you will have to accept it. Now it is something like a couple is having a love affair for about so many years, right? But before they're going to get married, you will have to get the both parties concerned. That is why in the registration they are asking, I'm going to this person. And the lady also saying, yes, I accept and I'm going to accept this person. That is the simple agreement, acceptance. In that stage, they can say, one party can say, yes, we had a love affair, we were thinking to marry, but now I have some problem, I can't marry you. So then it will finish. There is no marriage. It is something like that. After that, only they will register and they will sign. All these things will happen. Both parties are agreeable with the marriage. You understand?
Yeah, sir. That before the agreement, there should have some again acceptance and Both the party acceptance.
Yeah, whether it's accept or not.
Okay.
Concern has to be there. Okay. If you have any other, if you want to get some clearance, you ask me later. Now, we will come to the where we now finalization of before awarding the contract, final negotiation take place to, after acceptance. Now it is come to the negotiation stage. Before awarding the contract, there are some negotiations, no? Clarify terms and conditions. Contract, when you prepare the procurement entity will prepare the contract, they have some terms and conditions, instruction to contractors and the general condition of the contract. So many things are there in a contract. Contract is very important. Now, actually, now these days they are talking about you are going to study that. I'm doing a lot of so many lectures in that PPP. It's a new one. The government is very concerned. There are PPP and PPPP, 4Ps and 3Ps, right? You can understand when I start the lectures on that. Public-private partnership. The government is very keen. Not only, don't think that the poor countries are trying to do investment, try to get the investment and do the PPP. No, even in America, you get so many contracts PPP. Right, it's a different issue. We'll come to that later one day. Right. Resolve outstanding issues. These are normal things you can understand. When you have a finalized negotiations, you'll have to do all these things. Confirm financial and legal compliance. So that means that if it is especially if it is a supplier contract is outside, say Chinese guy, so many contracts are doing by them. So they will have to think our country tax situation. What is the tax obligations that they have? They have separate tax obligations. If they come under BOI, they have less obligations. So like that, there are so many things, right? So many regulations, tax, insurance. How are they going to insure? Are they going to insure with the Chinese insurance company or a Sri Lankan insurance company or a connected companies? Like that, the regulatory approvals. In regulation, whether our government will prepare to give the our regulations are there to get down a Chinese company and do some contracts. Like that, you'll have to check all these regulatory matters and agree on risk allocation. That is very important. Now, these days, if you are doing World Bank, foreign funded agency, maybe I explain you all that procurement plan, I don't know, I can't remember now. Risk allocation is very important. Most of the contracts are failures because of these risk matters. Because from the beginning of the risk allocation, this stage, you'll have to very clearly set the risk to the most relevant party, whether the purchaser or a supplier, to whom that you'll have to give the risk. Sometimes both parties will say, no, I can't take that risk. The government also say, no, but the company project also say, no, I can't take that risk. And the contract also say, no, I can't take the risk. In that case, what will happen? Can you give some answer? In that case, what will happen? You will have to give that risk to somebody. So the insurance companies are there to take that risk. Now, for example, you take this yesterday or day before, that Strait of Hormuz, what do you call in singular? Hormuz Samudra Sandhi.
Oh, sir.
Iran Valatian, yes. So they are all insurance companies says no, we are not going to insure the ships because of this thing. But the America say, USA says, okay, if they are not going to insure it, American government will give the insurance. American government is not an insurance company, but they says, yes, we insure that. People and items and everybody, whole ship we will insure. So like that, sometimes the people, even insurance companies also might not go. Those are the very special cases. But in our normal contracts, if the both parties are not agreeable, then you can. That is why that insurance companies are there. Okay, that is risk is taken by the insurance, right? Confirm financial and legal compliance. That is tax obligations. You know that, right? Agree on risk allocation, cost overruns, delays, or unforeseen circumstances. Those things you'll have to discuss. Actually, now we think that the contract stage, signing the contract is a very easy thing. No, there are so many things you will have to look into that. That's why I say you go to that time. Before I start this lecture, I told you all, go to some position, okay, few positions, and think how I am going to act in these situations. Now, cost overruns. Sometimes you have the supply contract has given a cost, but it's not correct. He will have to overrun the cost. In that case, they will stop the project in middle of that. It has happened. Sometimes the government, they don't have money to pay. Can you remember that the Castle Street Hospital, not Castle Street, yeah, that, yes, Castle Street Hospital, the Rajita's time, when minister was the Rajita, he was trying to start that the doctors club, that area. He won't have a, I don't know, 30, 40 floors with a big, huge building. On the half of the way, they have stopped it. That is because of the government change. In our country, there are so many things are happening. No? When the government change, that they will stop everything, whether it's good or not. That's the habit, right? So now only they have started again. Like then the cost overruns, definitely, because those days the dollar is about 180, now it's about 320. Then delays. Unforeseen circumstances can happen. No? Now, Ditwa, very recently it happened. Ditwa, that case, right? Everything they will have to stop. Some of these things affected in those areas. All right. Another one, signing the contract by both parties. Now, both parties will have to sign. Once negotiations are finalized, now acceptance are okay, both party accepted. The negotiations also finalize everything, risk allocations, everything, right? Both parties agree on the terms and the conditions and the regulations, legal stages, everything is completed. Now it has come to the formal signing of that contract. Then after that, only legally it's bind. After signing the contract, must remember, they have accepted, they have negotiated. In the middle of the negotiation, somebody can say, no, we are not going to continue this. No one can do anything because it's not legally binds. Still, there are some problems. Legally binding means that not 100% it's not binding. But really, it's not 100% legally binding. But after signing the contract, of course, you have a legal stand. If some party says, no, we are not going to do this contract, they can claim you or you can claim them. It has happened to Colombo Port City. Port City was started by Mahinda Rajapaksa's government. And later, when Ranil Wickremesinghe and the Maithripala Sirisena came, that they have stopped that port city. Right? But the Chinese government, they put up a case and they have charged. I think, I can't remember, there was a penalty. We had to pay about $180 million or something like that. I can't remember exact amount now. We had to pay them. We paid more than $150 million because of that murder tirane. Unnecessary things, no? අපේ රටේ වැඩි හරියක් වෙන්නේ ඔය වගේ දේවල්නේ. Unnecessary things are happening, so country is having a problem. Right. When the formal execution by authorized representative of both parties, government and bidder, purchase and supplier, the project procurement entity and contractor, so many names are there, right? Or you can use anything. I have used most of these things here and there for you to understand. But in the same meaning, right? Government and the bidder. After signing the contract, he is a contractor. Government is a purchaser. Or you can say government purchaser. For government contracts in Sri Lanka, the secretary to the ministry or a designated official sign on behalf of the government. So it's all depend. Main person, depending on the threshold, everything is mentioned in the contract, who is going to sign. Secretary to the minister is to sign, or he can demarcate it to somebody else. Additional secretary or a project director. Most of the project director is signing. And the other party is you will have to be very careful. Now, you are in a supplier's side. You are not in a government side, you are in a supplier's side. Who is the authorized representative? Now, about 3 days back, one case came to me. It's a government department, large contract. They want to get my advice on that. That is with regard to the supplier's signature. Now, I will ask you a question. Quickly give me an answer. If you don't know, it's okay, never mind. Who is the party allowed to sign from the private company? Is a contracting, say MAGA. So who has to sign that?
Authorized
representative.
signatory.
Sorry?
Authorized signatory.
Authorized signatory.
All the representative.
Or the? Somebody else was telling something else.
Direct.
Right. Huh? Tell me.
Direct.
Director.
Direct.
Director. Oh, right. So now about 3 or 4 days back, it came about huge government tender. They came to me because the evaluation committee, bid evaluation committee, somebody has signed, right? First, I will explain you later. Some areas I can't explain you because it's going on. Bid evaluation committee, somebody is agreed with that signature and somebody is not agreed with that. So they will have to get my advice how to do it, right? So I told them how to do it. It's not a big decision, but for them, it's a problem because authorized signatory didn't sign. He was a normal manager. Board has authorized him, but whatever the reason, I don't know that private party, he didn't sign. It was signed by the director. As this lady told me now, signed by the director. So they asked me what to do. I said, no, director is not enough. In that case, two board of director, the number one is, as you said, that the main authorized signatory. Whatever the level, it doesn't matter. Because authorized signatory means that also you'll have to check when you are doing the bid evaluation and all these things. Authorized signature should have a board resolution to sign all these things. So in that case, he can sign the contract also, because the board of directors, whole company body has given the authority to this man. Right? Sometimes some companies, they don't take it very seriously. Those are the things it's happening. But the best sorry.
So we have the right to ask that document, right? The document that the authority has been given.
You have a
So we have the right to ask that document, right?
yeah. You're asking that.
Yeah.
Authorized representative, there should be a letter. I mean,
Yeah.
the board resolution has to be there. I mean,
Okay.
it's very, sometimes they don't tell also. It's a very common thing. When you
Okay.
get the authorization letter, the board of directors will have, in a board, will have to take a decision. Right. It's a one part of it, right? Now, he didn't sign this. The director signed it. So I told them, the correct thing is secretary to the board and the one director has to sign. If authorized representative didn't sign it, whatever the reason, we don't know. If the secretary and the director sign, both parties sign, secretary of the board, secretary of the board and the director of the company sign, both two parties sign, then it's okay, you can accept it. Or otherwise, two directors, the next alternative arrangement, two directors can sign it. Or the chairman and another director can sign it. Chairman also a director, no? There is no legal specialties thing called chairman. That is, you get because according to their articles and everything, it's all depend. Chairman and another chairman also director. That's what I say. Two directors. And board secretary and one director. Those are the alternative arrangements that you can do. I'm not going to tell you that more details about that because it's going on now these days. I don't know what happened after that. I think they have sorted out that. Right. So therefore, you will have to be very careful. You will have to explain in a bidding when you are sending the bidding document that all these things should be incorporated in the bidding document. In a bidding document, you will have to say these things. That's how you will have to prepare a bidding document. From the starting point, you'll have to do everything. Otherwise, these type of problems came. Yeah.
Which is instruction to tender or instruction to bid. That one. Okay.
Yes. No. Instruction to bidders, sometimes that clause is not there. But in the data sheet, you can see. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
In the data sheet, you can put so many other things. Now, those days, when we start the software and the digitization, this thing, as I think I told you all, maybe about 95% of the digital matters at that time, I was the procurement advisor. At that time, we didn't have, even World Bank, they didn't have all these things, software, escrow arrangement and the software license, most of these things are not there in the bidding documents. So we will have to insert, finding our knowledge, using our knowledge, we will have to put into the bid data sheet about the software license, escrow license, and all these things. Like that, what I say is, like that, you can include anything into the bid data sheet. Anything important, you can put it there. But the supply will have to agree. We'll have to agree. Then only the contract is going on. No? Otherwise, they will not bid even. If you ask unnecessary things, unnecessary rules and regulations. Right. For government contracts in Sri Lanka, the secretary, somebody, they are, of course, very clear. Our side or the government side. Secretary can sign, or the additional secretary, he will give his authority to the additional secretary. Most of the ministries you get additional secretaries, like that. Legal binding and effectiveness. The contract becomes legally binding upon signing. Yeah, I told you all. In international contracts, notarization or legalization may be required. Sometimes some countries, they are asking notarizations. Now, Nepal, they are asking notarization if the bidder is a foreigner. Notarized by the lawyer. Or there are notarization people are there. අපි ඉස්සර කියන්නේ මොනවාද? ඉස්සර අපි කියනවා notaris කෙනෙකුට කියලා අත්සන් කරගන්න කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. So something like that, legal requirement, regulations, is depend on the country to country, sometimes. Okay. Right. Witness and stamp duty compliance. In Sri Lanka, stamp duty must be paid per the Stamp Duty Act number 43, 1982 is there. The stamp duty compliance, it has to be there. Not only this, there is another, in these contracts, if it is more than 50 million, you will have to get the, what do you call that, company registrars. There is a company registrars circular is there. You'll have to pay something and get the, what do you call, get the, get some permit or something like that. There is a one in the registrar's company registrar's office. But actually, that the letter they have, the gazette also, the letter also they have include there is not correct. I had to face this situation when I was in the commission, National Procurement
ECA
Commission.
3 document, sir.
See?
ECA 3 document.
ECA, yeah. Some document, I can't remember that name. So that is not correct. The English one and the translation, there are some problems. So I asked them, when I was in the commission at this National Procurement Commission, because I want to put into the guidelines. We are the people who prepared the first guidelines in 2018. The same thing, the same thing with few amendments that new guidelines is there, 2024 guideline. Now they couldn't explain my question. Then I had to get the answer from the Attorney General. I wrote to Attorney General asking what is this. Actually, Attorney General also given some ruling, but there are also some problems I think I can remember. I don't know, now they have changed that and they have corrected it. Right. Very well, I can remember because I wrote to so many places to get the clarification before we prepare the, no, not before, when we are preparing the guidelines. Because I had to answer, no. Somebody will, now you all are, because I am a lecturer, so you all are asking these questions. But the people are doing the procurement in all over the country. If there is anything, they'll have to ask us. We'll have to answer. Whatever the question they are asking about related to procurement, we'll have to answer. So when we put in the procurement guidelines, everything should be very clear, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. So once this contract signed, do we have to register it somewhere? I didn't get that properly. Do we have to send it for registration somewhere, just like a deed of transfer? Now we are sending to land registry, right? Just like that, do we have to send this contract to somewhere to get it registered?
No. But as that gentleman says that the name, but the EPC or something like that, that one actually it's a registration like something you get, but not like the legal the sign in the what do you call this, sign in the legal this thing and the legal registrar, what is that called, land registrars department or something like that. No, there is no place to get approval, no register from any. There is no no authority, right? After signing the contract. So enforceability, right? Exchange of signed copies. Each party retains a signed original copy. Yeah, you'll have to keep one copy. It's a normal thing, right? Now I'm having a house. I want to give it to the rent. So the legal officer will sign the thing, and I will keep one copy. I'll give the rent. The person who got on rent will give the one copy. Right. If the contract involves international agencies like ADB, World Bank, additional copy may be required for funding agency. You will have to, you are doing it with the World Bank or ADB funded project. So they are asking you to send a copy of the signed contract, original copy. Formal acceptance letter issued. Now, after signing the contract, the procuring entity may issue a formal acceptance letter to the contractor or supplier if the standstill period. Yeah. Now, this acceptance letter is different from the previous one we were talking. After signing the contract and everything is done, then we are sending another acceptance letter, or sometimes we don't send. Now, say for example, if the standstill period is not applicable, only you can send this acceptance letter. But if there is a standstill period, the process is different. No need to send the acceptance letter. There, straight away, you can send a letter of notification of the contract award, that called NOA. Some people say letter of intention to award the contract, LIA. If there is a standstill period, I don't know up to what level you have learned standstill period. But I think in our lecture series, I think we will have to do the standstill period also.
Yes, sir, we did. According to my memory, that letter of intention to award issued, and after that, a standstill period will effect.
Activate.
Yeah.
No, that is correct. Standstill period is a period, right? Is a it's called, okay, January 1st to January 10th, or working days, or January starting from January 1st, 10 working days, something like that, the amount of days.
Yes, sir. Correct. 10 days.
Yeah, 10 working days. I
10
have,
working days.
those days it is not the working days, they have not mentioned. But I'm the one who introduced that one, working days. Not only this, everything I use in Sri Lanka, working days. Because, I mean, there are some reasons. When we got the authority, I have changed almost all the things. Now, very good example, there is no cabinet appointed tender board now. I have changed into the high-level procurement committee, right? But there are some reasons. If somebody asks me those reasons, because I explained these reasons to His Excellency President also, when I was a President's procurement advisor. We started from the COVID time. I don't know whether I have explained you all. Like that, I have done some changes in the standstill period also. 10 working days I have put. But if I am correct, still ADB, they are talking about calendar days, if I am correct. But in Sri Lanka, maybe that is depending on their requirement. But Sri Lanka, 180 days holidays. When it comes to New Year or a Christmas time or Ramzan time or a Deepavali time, ekadikata 3, 4, 5 days, whole, last weekend also. Yeah. Second, Saturday, Sunday, Monday Poya. All 3 days, holidays. Now you can't, no point putting 10 days as a standstill, because people, they don't have a time. People are not working. Office closed. They have gone for a trips and so many things. So better to give in New Year period. I have faced this situation. When it comes to New Year, maybe about 6, 7 days, sometimes holidays. So nobody can do it. People are not worried. People are not thinking. But when you send the standstill period, people cannot work. Right. So that standstill, there is a connection to the letter of notification and the standstill period. But what is first is not a matter here. Standstill, if there is a standstill period, it's mentioned in the bidding document and everywhere, and the contract also. It's a standstill period is 10 working days from this date to this date or something like that. That is why I say the formal acceptance letter to the contractor or supplier, if the standstill period is not applicable. Some contracts, there is no standstill period. No need, because small contracts, no need to have a standstill period. Those days we didn't have at all. Now, very recently only we started the standstill period after World Bank started that. World Bank is the one who started this initially, maybe about 2016, their regulations. They have started standstill period. Before that, there were no standstill period in the World Bank documents also. Right. Otherwise, a letter of if it is not, if the standstill period is there, we are not sending the acceptance letter again, but we are sending the notification of letter, contract award. Notification of contract award, or a letter of intention to award the contract. Notification, you can say notification or intention, anything. That's what I put all two wordings, NOA and LI, otherwise you will be confused what is this thing, but it's same thing. Will be issued, followed by the subsequent steps related to the contract award. So that means after standstill period, inside the standstill period, you get everything. Within first 3 days, you'll have to send the this notification of contract award. After 5 days, you are keeping that. People who not selected for the contract award, they can ask for the debriefing. You'll have to give the debriefing. If it is not satisfied by the bidder, he can go to the appeal board. So there are so many. It's a separate steps are there. I think, if I am correct, I think I'm going to tell you all the details of that later lecture. Right. Followed by subsequent steps related to the contract. Yeah, those are the steps that you'll have to follow. If you are not aware of those things, don't worry at this point. I will tell you separate in a lecture, separate portion. Purpose of the formal acceptance letter is purpose. Now we talk now that if it is not there, that we'll have to send a formal letter, official confirmation. It is accepted, that is it formally notifies to proceed with mobilization. It is something like what do you call this? Something like, okay, we accept it. Now you proceed with the work. So we sign the contract also. Something like that. But if the standstill period is there, then there is a separate steps you'll have to follow. Official confirmation, then the reference for legal and financial commitments. Yeah, this you can understand. Starting performance obligations. In some contracts, this letter may serve as an information to the contract to submit performance securities, performance bonds, advance payment. Yeah. With this letter, with this acceptance letter, you can ask, if you want, you can ask for the performance. If you want means that if you have mentioned in the bidding document, you need performance security this much. So in that letter, you can ask, you can remind him. Okay, you send me when you come for a signature, contract signature, you come with the performance security or a performance bond. And if you want to some advance payment, if we mention in the bidding document, you come with the advance payment bank guarantee also. Not only these things, the communication with other stakeholders. Now, say, for example, you want to get the bank loan. When you go to the bank, they will not give the bank loan. Now you say that I got a contract from the government this much. It will cost, I'll have to spend about 50 million. So give me about 20. I was asking you earlier also, 20 million as a bank credit, not credit, bank loan. They won't give you. They say you go to hell. How do we know that you won this contract and you are going to take over and you are going to start this contract? But this letter will serve that requirement also. You can show it this letter to the bank. Okay, look here. This is the letter of acceptance. I'm going to sign the contract and I need a bank loan, these things, or insurance, whatever it is. That is why I say that communication with stakeholders. It may be required for coordination with third parties, such as in funding agencies, ADB subcontractors and regulatory bodies, stakeholders, such as sometimes yes, organizing resources, staff, equipment, finance from the bank loans, staff, equipment, you'll have to buy equipment. Taradandanang, you'll have to tarmac machines you'll have to bring down. The Chinese people, they have, I know that the Rajagiri, this road coming to my house area, Budgamur Road, there's a huge Chinese, this thing is going on, like one goal phase. Shopping, supermarkets, everything. So like that, they need equipment, lot of equipment. They have bought from China. Financial arrangements, yes, you need money to do that. Establishing communication channels between stakeholders, that's also very important. Communication channels. Because by every time you'll have to discuss with the contractors and also the KPIs, key performance indicators. What is it? I will give. I think I have given some few ideas also. What type of KPIs you need for these type of contracts? Under contract mobilization, there are few steps to be followed, right? Organizing resources that I have already told you all. Human resources, staff in deployment and training to those people, and so many other works are happening when it comes to a large contract. So many things. Now for an international, let's say Chinese, will take Chinese people because everywhere you get Chinese. Now, for the Chinese, even labor, they have taken from China. It's not good. I mean, they should not do that. They will have to have some conditions because our people, they don't do this type of thing. They don't think about that. How many labor these things we have? Anyway, if you have a company, if you have taken a contract from, say, from India, you can't bring laborers. You will have to take laborers from there. It is not possible. You can take the high level officers, consultants, and that level. But laborers, that type of clerical stuff, you can't bring. Lankaවට තමයි ඔක්කොම ගේන්න පුළුවන්. In addition, for international contracts, all these foreign workers, they will have to take visas. So apply visas in Sri Lanka and get the visa is another headache. That is why all these contracts are getting delayed. I will explain you all. I mean, just now I have prepared a small slide to you to explain. Just now, just before this lecture start. So all these things are the human resource matters, but time consuming. For example, large infrastructure projects like Central Expressway, contractors, China's MCC, local subcontractors, deploy engineers, surveyors, and labor teams before starting constructions. Now, most of the digitization, these things, most of the people are, when they have a tender, they ask me whether we can take your name for the tender. I used to say it's okay. But if they get the tender, then they will have to take me. So for that, you will have to discuss the amount and everything before you give the okay to them. Now you will have to, one fine day, you will have to do that. What I am doing now, you will have to do it in future. Deploying that all these people. And now this is the one I want to explain you. Just now I have prepared this. As you ask, I think, what is your name? You are the person you asked these questions. Whether the letter of invitation and the contract award letter is same or something like that. What is your name?
I think he's not there.
He's not there. All right, okay. So there, it is something like this. You will get that question into your mind. This slide was not there. I prepared it and I put it there. Contract sign-in date. And there is another date called contract commencement date. And the next date is contract completion date. Now you might be having I don't know whether you may know, you may aware about it, but sometimes you are not aware. What is the difference between contract sign-in date and the contract commencement date? After signing the contract, then legally everything is okay, finish. But now say, for example, the contract period in the bidding document, in the contract, it's about 3 years. So 3 years are starting from January 1st. I'm asking you a question. Contract signing date is January 1st. From there, all legally, everything is okay after signing the contract. So the contract period is 3 years. Do you think in January 2029, the contract is over? No.
No.
No, sir.
Right?
Starting from April
Sorry?
1st. April 1st. From April 1st.
Yeah. That's what I say. It's not, I mean, it's not exactly. But I will, after explain you, you will understand. January 1st, 2026 is the say, suppose it's a contract signing date. But the contract commencement date is not that. Contract is there, legally binded. But the contract commencement date is not that. If the period is 3 years, that 3 year we count not from January 1st, 2026. We count from contract commencement date. What is this during this? I have given about, say, 3 months. It's all depending on these works. I mean, we have discussed so many things now. That training, staffing, that what you call the equipments and the financial arrangements, all these things we discuss. For these things, after award the contract, you need some time to get the visas, to get the bank loans, all these things. After that, only you can commence the contract. So without people, visas, you can't bring down the people here. Without people, you can't start the work. So that is why the people will, I mean, it's not, I think it's not in it's not in the procurement guideline also. I mean, most of the books, it's not there. That is why I thought to put it here to you to understand. So the starting date and the commencement date is 2 different days. It's all depend on that timing is depend on the nature of the contract, the timing. Whether it's maybe 2 weeks, it may be 2 months or 6 months, can't say, depending on that all the other works. So therefore, contract commencement date, say, for example, okay, they need 3 months to start the contract. Say April 1st, 2026 only, they are going to commence the date. But the contract is binding from January 1st. Time period depends on the nature of the contract. These 3 months, this period. Then after that, after 3 years time from here, that's why I say contract period, it can be after 3 years according to the contract. Contract period 3 years, April 1st, 2029, not January 1st, 2029. That's what, there are small mistakes here and there. I quickly did it. Okay. Right. It's not matter. All right. I think you can understand it. You should understand, because it's most of the time people are having a lot of problem in this. A lot of questions they used to ask me. Equipment and material procurement. These are the things that you'll have to do within. That's what I have given the 3 months for this tender. construction machinery, vehicle, IT systems or tools, as required raw materials, cement, steel, tarmac. Tarmac means that absol you get that what can name another? Yeah, tarmac, you know, right? Carpet dana again, IT hardware. They need to bring down all these things. Setting up temporary facilities, site office එකක් හදාගන්න පොඩි ගියක් හදන්නත් බාස්ලට ඉන්න පොඩි කෑල්ලක් හදාගන්න එපා. Workers accommodation, storage, yards, everything. For example, I have given few examples. Right, financial arrangements. These things you can understand. Security bonds, advance payment guarantees. All these things you'll have to, if you want, you can ask for the procurement entity. If the procurement entity mention it in the contract, right? So you can take all these things. For example, public-private partnership PPs in the power projects. Companies like LTL Holdings. LTL Holding is the is that local, that coal company. One of another company, coal company. The problem last few days happened because of the coal problem. Had to arrange private financing before mobilization. Establishing communication channels between stakeholders. That's you can understand, I told you all. You should have a very good communication setup. Defining key performance indicators. Defining KPIs. Few KPIs I have explained here. Time-related KPIs. The contract duration. Exactly whether you can finish this contract up to the planned date. Exactly on planned date. So there is a KPI, key performance indicator. Budget adherence also, you get the cost and financial KPI. Technical specification, you get quality KPI. For the risk matters, you get risk and compliance KPIs. All these KPIs you will have to put into the contract document. If you are doing the contract properly, you will have to, this you keep as a checklist. This presentation. One fine day, if you want it, not only that, when you want to sit for the exam, they might ask some questions, no, like that. Because in these lectures, we'll have to prepare the questions, no? Then the kickoff meeting, the last meeting. Aligning expectation between contracting parties, reviewing timelines, deliverables, and responsibilities, discussing risk and mitigation strategies, documentation and compliance, operational readiness, and the people's technical training. Everything you will have to do it in the kickoff meeting before that. Kickoff meeting that here also I have given so many other things. When you go through that, you can understand there is nothing to explain. Clarifying contract objective, yeah. Reviewing timelines, deliverables, and responsibilities. Confirming project phases, milestones, and completion deadlines. You have to review, right? If you are working in a project, you'll have to review all these things. Those are your responsibilities. Assigning roles and responsibilities to project teams. Different people are doing different works. You'll have to assign properly. Agreeing, you'll have to means maybe you are a secretary. You are an additional secretary. You are a project manager. Or you are a project specialist. Agreeing on reporting schedules and approval processes. Those things you'll have to, that's what I told you all. You keep this as a checklist. If you are doing contract something, you will have to go to that. Now, if you do the contracts I have now, the public finance department, they have issued a fairly large book on contract management. That one you can read if you are really involved with that, your work. Discussing risks and mitigation strategies, identify potential risk. That's very important. I told you all risk management is very important. Then documentation and compliance. Ensuring all legal and regulatory requirements. Legal requirements is very important before project execution. Before that, you will have to ensure everything, especially regulatory requirements and the regulatory approvals are in place, such as environmental clearance. Sometimes if it is a problem, now you can remember that these are the problems, the real-time problems are in place, such as environmental clearance, building permits from government authorities, funding agency, approvals, etc. Now, you can get so many examples, right? These highways, some people didn't allow to break down their buildings. I mean, unauthorized buildings, but they didn't agree to break that. So they went to the courts, and court took so many years. And in the road, those construction area, you can see some roads, some houses are, some buildings are there. They can't demolish that because the government can't do anything because the court cases are there. And other thing you can remember that karandu ගහද අර තිබුණේ අර lady කෙනෙක්
කණු කරඳ.
පඩු
කණු කරඳ.
මොකද
කණු කරඳ ගහ.
කට්ටු කරන්ද හරි මොකක් හරි මට වැරදි දන්නේ නැහැ ඒක. ඒක නිසා that Milgam area you couldn't finish that place too for how many months delay, that we had to pay a lot of money to Chinese people as a penalty because of that. Ultimately, you see that you get everywhere you get this kadundu or something like that. Confirming insurance license, security clearance, including contractors' liability insurance. That's also very important, right? Workers' liability insurance. You will have to take, you'll have to be careful, you'll have to take that. Workers' liability insurance. වැඩ කරන worker කෙනෙක් මැරුණොත් එහෙම මොකක් හරි ගලක් කඩන් වැටිලා. So the relatives come to you. So the insurance, at least insurance will have to pay that. There should be a liability insurance for all workers. And the subcontractors license, everything. Subcontractors insurance, everything has to be there. These are all this in list, so you can read it and understand. Clearance of security sensitive projects, defense, ICT infrastructure, security sensitive projects. You get the defense and ICT infrastructure. Company registrar certificate and other special. This is the one I was talking to you, company registrar certificate. I told that there was a problem. This is the one that we were talking. Establishing financial arrangements, advance payment for, yeah, those are known. Confirming letter of credit arrangement for international contracts. Yes, if there are some items that you'll have to import from some other country, you'll have to open the LC and all these things. Those matters you'll have to attend with the supplier. Operational readiness. Now everything is ready to final preparation, testing systems, verifying IT systems, right? For software projects like EGP, promise. What happened to the promise? It was stopped now. Sri Lankan EGP project, now 10 years. Started in 2016. First meeting I had it in February 2016 with other stakeholders, right? I told them not to go in this path. You can't do it. But they didn't listen to me. They had done in their own way. After 10 years now, it has broken down, everything finished. Now they are going to start again from the beginning. So I told them, now, at least now you will have to start the way that I told you all how to do it. Actually, now they are going to do in that manner. 10 years we took. Asian Pacific countries in Sri Lanka is the only one country not yet started electronic government procurement. All right. So you will have to put the next name, mispromise. You will have to put that new name. Running trial operation in infrastructure projects, power plant commissioning, right? Training.
Regarding promise, I think today they have launched some part of that.
Every day they are launching, madam. About
because I saw a news.
Huh?
I saw a news regarding promise.lk.
Yeah, maybe. Now what they do is, after that they went in a wrong way, then I said I am not going to involve. So because of that, the problem came is Mangala Samaravira's time, those idiots, I say idiots, right? Those idiots put up a show saying, put into the Mangala Samaravira, අර අපි කියන ගොනාට අන්දනොයි කියලා ඉවරලා මංගල සමරවීරට ඔය වගේම ආටිකල් කියන්නේ ප්‍රෙස් නෝටිස් දාලා පටන් ගත්තා මෙන්න ස්ටාර්ට් කළයි කියලා about maybe about 7 years back. Yeah, 7 years back they have done the same show. Now today also they are going to start put a show. Today, of course, I think no, they can't. What they say in that today papers? I don't think, because I'm also a little bit involved. They have not yet finished their bidding document also. New procurement, they have not yet finished their bidding document. I'm involved there, right? Not yet they finished that bidding document even. But the way that I told them how to work out on that matter, they do that. Running trial operation in infrastructure projects. Yeah. Training staff where necessary, very important. Without training that you can't do anything, especially the information system contracts. Conducting on-site or remote training for end users. End users also you'll have to give the training, no? Ensuring some projects, ensuring compliance with international standard, ISO safety protocols or something like that. You need those things, right? Establishing monitoring and reporting mechanism, setting daily, weekly and monthly progress reports, implementing KPI. KPI dhammata wadanna if it is not implemented or if it is not performance. Defining dispute resolution mechanism. That also very important. If there is a dispute, you will have to resolve that dispute. Some examples from Sri Lanka. For the light rail transit project in Colombo, before cancellation, I think you can remember from Malambe to Pitakotua, Peta. We were trying to put the LRT, light rail transit. It's there. It's there. That project is there in Bangladesh. The people are going in that train also. I have seen that. The money, Japanese money, it's a Japanese drug. I mean, the donation they have given to Bangladesh. Now they are running. They have started. They have done, finished. The Ministry of Megapolis, that when Mr. Patali Champaka was there, when he was there, they have started this LRT project by JICA, and they maintain. After that, it was cancelled, and main contractor held an extensive kickoff meeting to finalize work breakdown structure, safety measures, and financial guarantees. For the outer circular highway or CH, you can see that. I mean, most of you all have seen that. Outer circular highway, when you go from Oruthatavatta to Nigambu Katunayaka Airport Road, on top of that, you can remember that OCH goes to outer circular highway is there, part of it. It goes to the other one side, goes to the Ports Authority. The Road Development Authority required contractors to conduct trial runs before full operation handover. Yeah, they had to do trial runs before doing the operation, correct operation. At that time, I also little bit involved with that. In public construction project, the Treasury requires contractors to submit a performance bond before receiving any advance payment from the government. That is the normal thing in procurement contracts. Now we are coming to that. Now we start from the commencement of contract. That is our lecture part 1. Yes, I have given 1.5 hours for that. Exactly, we have finished that part within 1.5 hours. Next 1.5 hours time, we are going to do our second part of the contract, closure. Close down of the contract. That means the completion of the contract. Now we can't say close, I don't like that word. Completion of the contract. Closure kiwam, it's closure, it's the name that you get in your syllabus, but completion of contract is better. Closure kiwam, වැඩේ කරන්න නැතුව close කරලා දන්නෙත් නැහැ. Right. Performance review. There are a few things that you will have to, as a checklist. If you are a procurement specialist or the project manager or an additional secretary or the secretary, you should know these things. That's why you are doing MSc, right? It's not an easy thing. I think the results also not so good. The first batch results is not so good. So you will have to come for lectures without missing that. This is not a thinking that these are Zoom lectures, you can just cut those lectures. Don't think like that. You will be in a trouble. Now, actually, my thing is now, before start this MSc, this thing that we should have given you all the very good starting for that. How to participate for these course and everything. Because it's not an easy thing. MSc is a very valuable and you'll have to do a lot of work. Now, when I was doing my MSc, young ages, I think first MSc I did, I passed the selection, not like these days, right? Only one place we had MScs in Sri Lanka. That is MBA at that time Vidyodaya campus. Now Sri Jayawardhanapura University, Dr. Upali Nanayakara. He is the guru of this MBA in Sri Lanka. 400 people came, students came for the test. Only about 60 students selected. I also got selected. But I couldn't go for the second interview done by some foreigners, second and third interviews, but I couldn't go there. I had to go some other country. Because of that, I missed it. But later, there was another MBA in Sri Lanka. We got two places in Netherlands to do MBA. That they have selected me and another guy called Vimal. Vimal Jayasekara. Both of us were trying to go, but there is no enough participants in that course in Netherlands, so they have cancelled it. So later, I had to do, after all these things, those two chances I missed, and after that, again I did it, but it took about 3 years. Like this Zoom, like the, not the Zoom, this part-time thing. Anyway, that's what I say, that you'll have to be very careful and you'll have to have a special attention, because it's not a easy thing. It's not like a diploma or BA, BSc degree or something like that. MSc is a very difficult task. These days, of course, it's a little bit easy. Conducting final inspection or testing, obtaining completion certificates, handling penalties or liquidated damages, LDs, legal and administrative closure. All these things you'll have to close down. Other documents, lessons learned and reporting. Lessons learned is very important. In USA, they are very keen about these lessons learned. ඒ කියන්නේ කරන දෙයින් යමක් ඉගෙන ගන්න එක. For your future. Not only your future, the future generations' knowledge. They can go through, we can write the books. Now, what I am doing for you all, these lectures, I'm finding out so many things with my knowledge and everything, I lecture you. So that is lessons, what we learn, we give it to you. That's what I say. අර මූසිල ගුත්තිල වාගේ වෙන්නේ නැතුව හැම කෙනාම දන්න දේ. අපි මේ රටේ citizens money we studied, they spend a lot of money, the government spend a lot of money for me especially to go to these, to do so many things, so many conference work for shops and everything. So I'll have to do some work to my country. So mainly I'm doing is teaching for you all. Sometimes I don't have a time, but however, I will go to the SLIDA, the diploma, this thing, Motto University, everywhere, and do at least little bit. Students are a little bit okay with me. They like my lectures. So like that, closure of contract. Contract closure ensures that all obligations are fulfilled. These things, of course, you can go through and read it, so you can understand. If there is a place that I should understand, I should explain, that I will do it. There are a few steps to be initiated. Contract plus a performance review. Okay. Assessing contract deliverable against KPIs. We have fixed the KPIs. Now you will have to assess that. Outcomes. With outcomes versus KPIs. What we have given the KPIs, what is the outcome? It's 100% or 90%, right? You'll have to assess. Verifying quality, compliance timelines is very important. All important things that I should not say that this is important. Obtaining client end user feedback. The people who are using this, your project, how is their feedback? Now I have very bad feedback about Katunayaka Expressway. I want to buy that electric line. I mean, you don't want to stop and pay your money cash. You can go through that electronic gate. But to buy a ticket for that, you'll have to go to Jayala. Useless people. I told the secretary also at that time. මොනවද මේ කරන පිස්සු වැඩ? මේ කොහේ හරි යන්න පටන් ගා එක්ක පෑලිය ගොඩින්. Or otherwise in the Jayala, okay. If they love Jayala, then they can have a Jayala, that place in the highway itself. You can have a small counter. to pay the money and give the electronic ticket. I mean, useless people. How many years now it has taken? They are asking to go to Jaila, someplace. I don't know where. I didn't ask also, I got sick. So this is what? The user feedback, I mean that they don't care. Use feedback to resolve issues and implement. මම විතරක් නෙමෙයිනේ ඔකට issue එක කරලා ඇත්තේ. තව කී දෙනෙක් ඔය issue එක කරලා ඇද්ද? But they don't do improvements, any improvements. But it should be improvements for future contracts. The user feedback is very important. Financial settlement. Yes, very important. Very important, but you can understand when you are reading that, right? Verify that all deliverables are completed and approved as per the contract. Cross-check final invoices against completed work. Purely a checklist, this part. Obtain necessary approvals from the procurement officer, project manager, engineer, authority to approve before made the payment, balance payment. Ensure all taxes to the government, VAT, withholding tax, and deductions are correctly applied. Process the final payment through the ministry, treasury, or relevant funding body. Handover and final deliverables. Excuse me. Handover and final deliverables phase ensures that all obligations under the contract are fulfilled before officially closing it or officially hand over it. This process is crucial for both infrastructure projects, procurement contracts, and service agreements to ensure compliance, quality, and proper documentation. Documentation is very important. It's about ensuring that everything promised has been delivered. Monada porundune contract ke everything has been delivered. Properly documented, not only delivered, properly documented and accepted by the client, by the project or the ministry. Transfer of assets, documents, or intellectual property. Intellectual property, that part is very important. When it comes to the information system contract, intellectual property, and I told you a little bit, intellectual property and the software license, those days it was not in the documents. I can remember I have included so many clauses in that related to intellectual property and software license and software software materials license and all these things. Assets. You know what is assets? The software license, data, all these things. Physical assets such as machinery, building, or that type of things are the tangible assets. Machinery, buildings, road, right? That type of thing. There are some intangible assets also. That's what I say. That's mainly involved with the information systems. Now, I don't think that your lecture series you get information systems. It's very interesting. If you would like to become a procurement expert, then you'll have to learn all these things. It will take years and years to learn all these procurements. Still, I am not learned 100% in my case. So that is why I say it's not 35 years, all time I spent for that the IT procurement, information systems, and all these things, but still I feel that I need some more things to get. Documents, This includes all relevant contract documentation, drawings, operations, and those days, of course, the hardware files, right? Lot of files. But now it's very easy. All are digitized. No store capacity needed. No paper wastage. Paper wastage means paper files. Sometimes, some years later, about 10, 15 years later, you don't get that papers. I can remember e-pension. Now, pension department is digitized. When it was started, that I had to go there for to feasibility to see that place. Most of the pension files you can't touch. Everything goes, පිටිවාගේ කුඩු වෙලා හැලෙනවා කොළ. All files. I think people are ඒගොල්ලන් නැති වෙලත් ඇති. Dead and gone. Most of the people. But nowadays, it's very advanced. After digitization, we call e-pension, that one. Our name is e-pension. They are everything digitized. That office staff also, from the top to down, they are very concerned about that system. They gave a full support to implement that. Some places they don't like. Now, Foreign Employment Bureau, that project called EFEB, Electronic Foreign Employment Bureau. We couldn't do that job. The World Bank gave loan for it, credit for it. But we couldn't start it because the people who worked there, they were very, they against that system because of the corruption. They thought that with the system digitization, they can't do the corrupt work, bribery, fraudulent practices. Yeah, it will stop up to some certain level. Therefore, they didn't like to start that FEB. We'll have to stop that. Intellectual property rights, some of the IP rights we will have to take after the contract. They will have to hand over to us because we paid for that also to them. With the software license and the data, with that, you have to be very careful about the intellectual property rights also. Otherwise, sometime later there will be a problem. Conducting final inspection of testing. Client verifies whether the delivered work, identify and remaining defects or deficiencies. If there is a deficiency or defect, you will have to identify and ask them to correct it. Inspection and testing. These are a checklist. This is a very good document for you to have a handbook if you are doing a contract management. Types of inspection. Construction projects, IT software projects. Now in construction project, you have to do the inspection for structural integrity testing, electrical, mechanical inspection, that type of things. If it is a information system integration, you'll have to check, you'll have to inspect. User acceptance testing. It's called UAT in information systems. Goods procurement, quality testing mainly. When you get the goods, it should be a quality testing. Now, last few months, we had a problem, that call problem. People says it's not up to quality. That is correct. They have done the quality testing and found it's less quality. So that those things you will have to be very careful. Quality testing, you will have to 100% it should be correct. If you are paying something, that you will have to pay. Because lowest value, Maybe the price is low, but it's not a, I mean, the big people are giving some excuses. We took the lowest price. No, there is no lowest kata in procurement. Lowest evaluated bid. So that is the value for money. Fit for purpose. That is the price we need. That's why in procurement we call lowest evaluated price, not the lowest price in procurement. Always we say lowest evaluated price. That is the best value for money. Right? Maybe that you know that part. Those are the basic of these procurement. Goods procurement, you have to be very careful about the quality. If the quality is not good, I mean, it's a big loss to the country. Not only Gallanguru or call, but other items also. People are suffering. If the product is not good, the people are suffering. Now, one of the good example is the canned fish, salmon. We call salmon, but there is no salmon in that. Canned fish. Quality is very bad. I don't know why. Maybe it's coming from Chile. Initially, I was involved in the importing of that Satos. You were not born, I think, at that time. Plaza. It's from Japan, pure salmon. We import that salmon from Japan at that time. So the best quality. Now the quality is horrible now. But you can have a good quality canned fish in Sri Lanka. But people are not worried, not bothered. You'll have to obtain all complete certifications. All certificates, complete certificates. Provisional completion certificate issued when minor pending works remain. Right? Final completion certificate, FCC, granted when all contractual obligations are fulfilled. That's very important. Certificate of final acceptance issued after any defects or deficiencies have been rectified. You'll have to get all certificates.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry?
Yeah, excuse me. So if there is any after services or regarding maintenance, is it mentioned in the previous contract or here this certificate of final acceptance or somewhere regarding maintenance and
Yeah, all these provisional. I told you that in the information system one, clearly I told UAT. Yeah. User accepting test. UAT, in that is in the information system. Others also you get structural integrity testing, electrical testing, mechanical inspection, after sales services is somewhere there. Everything you will have to get all the certificates. There are so many certificates in large contracts. I mean, in the very huge contracts in the outside the country, the say USA, England, you get that traffic systems, very complicated traffic system. So there are certificates. I think it's about maybe 2-3 purchase building. You'll have to fill those certificates. But now, no need stock stores, all digitized. All certificates are digitized now, those countries. So that check for any delays, defects, or non-compliance that trigger penalties. You have to put penalties if they are not done properly. For example, liquid damages. Have you heard about liquidated damages? Yes or no? Tackle again.
Yes, sir.
No.
No. Right. Liquid damages is LD. That is not the penalty actually. This is what I want to explain you. Now, say for example, you have asked to bring down 5,000 laptops. Whatever the reason, supplier has supplied only 4,500 laptops. 500 less 500. So in that case, you can't cancel the tender. Or you can't put a penalty. Maybe a reason, shipment delay or whatever it is. Right? But you'll have to give some liquidated damages. That is called liquidated damages. It's not the penalty. Now, say for example, it's not that you are charging that all 500 computers this thing. No. Some percentage. If there is a delay, some percentage. I have an example. Now this when I'm now this is not the liquid damages. I will explain you all. But liquid damages, how to claim, there is a lecture for that, right? One of my lecture, it's included. Now normally it's 0.05% per day of the contract value. That contract value, that small this thing, but it's also not full of the full amount of 0.5% zero, part of it. Now say for example, I'm taking this example for my students, university students. Now I'm a procurement specialist in charge of some ministry. I want to buy, it happened to me, this is a real example. When I was starting my procurement life, I'll have to face this thing. They have asked me to bring down 10 double cabs to agriculture ministry. At that time, to start that, there was a title report project. First, they have changed the name to BIM Savia and so many things, right? BIM Savia. I heard again this government put another name. That's a famous, no? Government change, name also change.
Urumaya.
Huh?
Urumaya. Urumaya.
Urumaya. Urumaya නෙමෙයි ඒක නම් කරුමයක්. Not උරුමය. ඒක real කරුමයක් අපිට අපේ රටට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Started from the title, land title, World Bank, this thing. So I was a procurement officer at that time, very young ages, the first World Bank appointment. That is, the still that they are giving the certificate is the Karumeta dena certificate එක ඒකම තමයි. I heard from somebody in one dinner party. So that officer was telling me the same title they are giving still. So I'm the one who designed that title report. So there, after that, when one government came, and then that government, then the minister was Andhra Kumar Disanayake. Before they come to the power, that government, I can't remember who said that. They says that when we come there, that we will සිංහලෙන් කිව්වේ plug ගලවන World Bank plug එක ගලවලා දානවායි කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ World Bank එක අර දැන් ඔය කිව්වේ අර මොකද්ද IMF එලවලා දානවායි කියලා අන්න ඒ වගේ වාක්‍යයක් කිව්වා World Bank ගේ plug එක ගලවලා දානවායි කියලා. කොහොම හරි first meeting එකේදී ඕක පොඩ්ඩක් ඇදිලා ඇවිල්ලා ඉවරලා I was sitting there in one chair. Next to me, that World Bank procurement specialist, the Asia Asian procurement specialist. She was telling me, what her name? I can't remember. Sandra. She was telling me, Christy, hinahavi අපි දෙන්න හරිය හුඟක් යාළුයි. hinahavi ආයෙත් මට දැන් කිව්වා, we don't mind. We will go back. We don't give money. We will take the money and we will go back. Actually, they have gone. Then only the government, I mean the minister and other people, given to some fellow as a project director. We had a very good project senior officer, very good project director called Mr. Buddha Dasa, right? Senior surveyor officer. So he was running that project very nicely. I was a procurement officer. My first World Bank job in that project. So then everybody went off. That people, they put their own people. දාලා ඉවර වෙලා ඒකට මොනවද බිම්සාවිය කියලා නම දාලා පටන් අරගෙන ගියා ශ්‍රී ලංකන් මනි වලින් ඒ ලොකුවට කතා කළානේ මේ අයින් කරනවා රමයා කියලා. So that after that I don't know what happened. Now they says very go slow system they go, and as you said Urumea or Karumea, that is the name. I would prefer to put that Karumea name for that. Deduct applicable LDs before. So there are 10 double caps. So it happened. Only 8 double caps they have purchased, but 2 there was a delay. So how I calculate LD is, actually I calculate with the World Bank head of Asia. I didn't know exactly how to do it. As I told you all, at that time, no one was there in Sri Lanka to learn something, ask something how to do it. No one is there in Sri Lanka. My time, when I start procurement. Now, of course, you are very lucky. You can have diploma, you can have MSc. This MSc also, I try my best to start MSc in Sri Lanka. Not only that, I have a few things. There is a Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. It's called CIPS. I want to make a branch in Sri Lanka, like chartered accountants, chartered engineers, chartered procurement specialists. So most of the other 80 countries they have. I'm a member of one UK CIPS. So that, but in my time at the Procurement Commission, that we couldn't do it. I was started the work, but in half of that I had to go. Not I had to go. They have disclosed this procurement entity, National Procurement Commission. Actually, after that, the president couldn't do anything because all the cases came to president, big cases in procurement. So because of that, they have taken me as a governance advisor to the president to handle all procurement matters, not handling the procurement matters, to give advice for the problems. So it has happened like that. So if there is a 2 vehicle delays, we calculate like this. Now, say for example, that 10 officers are there to give these 10 double cabs. Now at present, we are rented out those 10 vehicles to these people. 1 vehicle, 100,000. Like that, monthly rent. Like that, we have rented out 10 vehicles and we have given them. To fulfill that, we thought to bring down 10 double cabs and distribute among those 10 officers. Now, famous, no, that 1,750 double cabs they are trying to bring, and then the no procurement, this thing and that and this. Actually, I was doing this proper procurement At that time, about 35 years back, 30 years back, right? It's a different issue. Now, we got 8, right? We said, okay, March 1st, we need that. That's the closing date. They have sent 8, right? Okay. They didn't send 2 double cabs. They says it will take another 2 months because of some delays. Now, that is the time we can do the liquidated damages for that. Now, of course, most of the procurement specialists, they don't know how to do it, right? Therefore, they don't put these liquid damages clause into the bidding document. That's how they do that. I have seen so many places, right? Anyway, you don't do that. Now, there are 2 vehicles getting delayed for 2 months. So then that 2 officers will have to use that rented cars. So it will cost us, it will cost to the institution or a department 100,000 into 2 vehicles, 200,000 into 2 months, 400,000. So that 400,000 is the correct LD that you will have to put as a liquidated damages. That's how we calculate the liquid damages and we reduced from their bill. The company was that Nissan company. They are the people who came from this tender. Correctly done, we did the procurement method. Now, after 30 years later, now they say that there are some corruption in procurement methods. I don't know. I don't want to, I know a few things, but I'm not going to say anything about that because there is something, right? Okay. Deduct applicable LDs before processing the final payment. Yes, you'll have to do that. If penalties are disputed, ensure proper documentation and resolution. If the people says that Nissan company, no, 400,000 is too much, there is a justification for 400,000. I have a documents, right? I had to pay for 2 months for 2 cars at a rate of 100,000. Then it comes to the 400,000. That is because of the Nissan company's delay. So the real liquid damage calculation is I have done it with the World Bank expert. This is the first time I did my local claim in the liquid damages, right? In real work. So with her support, I did it. And I have documents, so there is nothing to argue. There is no dispute at all. Legal and administrative closure, that also you'll have to close down. Project office, you'll have to close. Now I'll ask one question from you all. Now say it's a project in health department. The World Bank given the money and the project closed. Now what are you going to do with that items like computers, desk and tables, building, of course, if you have taken the rent, you can go off. Then the vehicle, if you have purchased 2 vehicles, the project is closed. Now what are you going to do? Someone will have to give me the answer.
What is contract saying, sir? Maybe at the contract it is saying it should be handed over to the employer, or maybe it will remain with the contractor as per the contract.
Right. Actually, it's not the contractor's property. I'm talking about the project property, not the construction matters. There are two types of vehicles. One is in the project work and the project director, procurement specialist vehicle or something like that. Other heavy vehicles, most of all these things are the contractors' vehicle. So he will take all these things. Now what we will have to do is, the standard thing is, you will have to mention in the contract also, but normally it's not mentioned in the contract. The normal practice is, it is a government property. You will have to hand over to secretary of the ministry. That should be the method of handing over the vehicles and other items of the project. Department, of course, the department is there, no need to transfer. But project is with the World Bank. If they say, okay, $10 million they give the loan, we did the work, contract, everything, road or whatever it is, items in the closure, you will have to give it the secretary. Hand over the secretary. It's not mentioned in the contract.
Yeah, so here that deliverables, that means that computer and other things, I think those items bought by that, bought using project funds, right?
Yes.
Then we have to hand over it secretary to the minister, right?
Yes.
Then then after that, what happened to those items? Because then there will be additional items.
Oh, yes. Now I will tell you. This is a very good question, but I'll have to, because I want to explain you because it's a very, very good question. Now, I will put it in this way. Okay, World Bank has given a money. To whom that they are giving the money? That
To
money is,
government of Sri Lanka.
huh?
To government of Sri Lanka.
Yeah, bayana not the project, right? Project is one small this thing that implementing to look after this implementation. It's not the project money. You were thinking that it's a project money. No, it's not the project money. World Bank is giving the money to the government. So after that, it's a government money. Now we call GOSL, Government of Sri Lanka. We say GOSL funds. That is government money. Government money means the people's, our citizens' money, tax and everything. You get that GOSL fund. That is the fund the government is having. Others we are getting from the loans, credit, like that we get from G to G, we get loans and credit. But those are not given to the agriculture department, project office or agriculture. No, they are given to the government. That is correct. Now I think we are discussing this I think I'm discussing that contract, international contracts also here. One lecture, I think, if I'm correct. I can't remember all these things because I'm doing all these things, most of the places, different subjects. But what happened is, they are giving the money to government. It's a government-owned money, like GSL. So when we buy something for our use in the project, laptops, vehicles, all these things, after closing the project, we'll have to give it to the secretary because it's a government money. What secretary will do it? Secretary will keep it and he need laptops. He need vehicle because some other things, if he didn't want it, he can send it to the government factory. Government stores, they can send it if they have more, but it will never happen. They give it to some other officer or some person who need that title. Understand? Yes, please.
Yeah, so some contract, it is saying, let's say that that engineer's facility and the employer's facility, let's say that computers or the vehicles, in the contract, it is saying, okay, this final product, I mean, after the contract, this material, I mean, whatever that items to be handed over to the contractor. At that time, contractor is pricing accordingly. Let's say he will take the what is called
Value of that.
value of that one. Yeah, he is reduce. I mean, he can reduce his price. He can give offer with reducing that amount. So in this case, sir, it should be hand over to the contractor. But the
No.
case is if it is silent, sir, as you said that if it is silent in this, if it is not mentioned in the contract, in this case, sir, what is the? It might be an argument, no, sir, dispute.
No, there is no argument. It's very clear. This is government money. Government money using they bought a laptop and they gave it to me. I am a procurement specialist. They gave it to me from government money. I can't give that in my contract to the contractor. In that case, there is a system in the procurement guidelines. If you have something, the government property, how to dispose it? There is a system. You'll have to put into the tender, public tender, and you'll have to sell. Like that if you don't want. But you can't put it in the contract that after that I will give it to that contractor and contractor will pay. So there is no competition. How? I mean that it's a corruption. Can be a corruption. Laptop is about say 300,000 rupees. I will put in the contract. Okay, after the project is over, I will give a contractor and reduce his from. I will collect money about say 75,000 rupees. How? You can't do for the government property. You can't do that. It's a corruption, fraudulent practice.
Sir,
What
not
you'll have to
reducing,
do-
not reducing at the time, but the pricing time. If it is the contract in the contract, if it is saying that material, I mean that laptop, so that engineer's facility will be returned to the contractor. In this case, sir, he can give competitive price. No, that he can accordingly he can say that what is the value of at that time, and he will reduce his tender price or bid. Is it again, sir, that is it a corruption?
Yes.
I think
What you say is your thing is half correct, half wrong. It is something like this. There is no competition. Only one man, contractor. We can put in normally we don't do that, right? But what I say is, according when you get that, when you ask this question, I'm going to explain you all. You can't do that because there is no competition. In that case, there is a system in the procurement guidelines how to disclose this. I mean, how to do the tendering the items government. Now you can say government vehicles. Sometime later, I mean about 10, 20 years later, they do tendering and they give it to private people. But in competitive bidding, that laptop also say 10 laptops are there. You can give it to contractor, but after according to the procurement guidelines. In procurement guidelines, it says that how are you going to dispose these government properties? You will have to follow that this thing. You can put it like this. If you want, but we don't do that. Why unnecessary problems? You can do that. Okay, this in a contract you can have all these 10 laptops. We put into the we put into the sale, competitive bidding, and the contract also can participate. That is okay. No harm. If he win the tender, he can take the 10 laptops. Otherwise, you can't do anything with the government money. Government money is a government money. There's a public money, right? Not the government. Government, they don't have money. we call that government money, USL funding, but it's a public money. Public money, you can't do that. Why we study all these procurement? Because of public money. In a 1 cent even you can't misuse that. That is a misusing because there is no competition. Now say, for example, you are the project manager. You very friendly with that, otherwise you can have the fraudulent practice can do it very easily, no? You can tell when you sign the contract, you can say with the contract, okay, I will give it to this 75,000, but the cost is about 150,000. You give me, okay, 25,000 each. It's a corruption. You understand? Oh, you have questions.
No,
Hello?
sir, it's fine. It's okay, sir.
Yeah, with government funds, you can't do anything. You'll have to
Uh,
be. Ah,
Yeah, regarding LDs, you told that if there is a delay with goods, we can claim some money from the contractor.
yeah.
If there is a delay of project period, that means if that contractor agreed to complete the project within 1 year,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I understand. I have given that vehicle example. It's to simplify this liquid damages, how to collect it. Now, if there is a delay in building, construction building, then you will have to charge like this 0.05% of the contract value per day. That is also there. That's what I say. LD, you will have to have a separate lecture. This point, you can ask this question again from me. Okay, at a rate of 0.05% of the total contract value per day, you reduce, right? You charge from the, say, charge means that you are producing from that person. Charge from the contractor up to how much? There's another question you can ask me. Up to how much you are doing, sir? 0.05% per day. So what's the delay? How many days? Maybe about 10 years. So, it is, when you calculate that, it can be more than the contract value. So, therefore, there is a limit. That is called 10%. Up to 10% only you can have these LDs at a rate of this 0.05%. Up to 10%, yes. After that, you can't go beyond 10%. Now, what are you going to do after that? Tell me. After
legal
that, what I
action,
do? Huh?
legal actions.
Terminate the contract, sir.
Sorry?
Terminate the contract.
Yeah, that's a type. What you all are saying is correct. Now you can terminate him. That is the one option. Terminate also, sometimes you will have to go to the courts. So he will put a court case. Sometimes, right? Terminate. Or otherwise, you can go to the courts and charge from him. You can stop the contract and charge from him, and you'll have to give it to then there's a problem. Who is going to do the balance work of that? Yes. For the balance work, you'll have to start a separate procurement. That case is going on. You'll have to finish this work also, say hospital building. Pain කරන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. So you'll have to do it. However, you'll have to do it. But the termination is there. You have terminated that man because of this delay problem. So many cases are there in Sri Lanka. But for the balance work, what you'll have to do is you'll have to do the new procurement for that part. Maybe sometimes total value might go up. It can happen most of the cases. It will happen. but can't help it. You'll have to finish the job also. That is the process that you'll have to follow. Is there any question? අහන්න මොනවද තියෙනවනම්?
No, sir, all
Sir,
good.
Right.
All clear.
Sir, some this is regarding that returning the goods for
Ah.
for some
Yes. What are you going to ask?
cost mean that can you hear me, sir?
Oh, pula.
So mobilizing with using the fund of the project. So after the completion of contract, all those should be handed over, isn't it, sir?
Yeah. Hand over to the secretary.
Yeah.
Secretary.
So some mobilizations or temporary work such as small housing that for their staff, contractor staff, soaps, boots, and other safety equipment they purchase using the provisional sum amount that we included in the BOQ.
Then you will have to come to that's a provisional. How to tackle the provisional sum case. Now this
Yes,
there is a separate this thing. Now in that contract, if you now say the provisional sums, you can't buy boots and that type of things. Provisional sums are there. In a contract it says what are the things that they can use for the provisional sum. Now say for example you want to take a lift for the building. The purchaser can decide, okay, I want say this famous lift at that time you get Lotus, I can't remember that name, brand name. If he might think that he need this lift, so you can ask the contractor to buy from provisional sum this lift. That you can do, but day-to-day work, contractors day-to-day work, they can't use provisional sums. That is the provisional sum story. Whatever the things that they will have to purchase, they will have to purchase from the contract price, profit of whatever it is. Now we are paying him 50 million as a contract price. From that 50 million, he'll have to do everything. If we want to put up a house to sit, if we want to buy beds and bed sheet to the engineers and other people, yes, he can do it. But that is his money. That out of that 50 million, he'll have to do that. All these works. Provisional sum is a separate story. It's a something like this LDs. ඒක වෙනම යන්න ඕන එක.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir.
So
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, okay. No, if you have a question, you ask. Even after this also, I will give you about 10 minutes. You can ask questions. Deduct public applicable LDs before processing the final payment. Yes. Before doing the final payment, you will have to deduct that LD. Otherwise, he will go with that money. He will not pay you back. Then you will be in a trouble. මේ ළඟදී වුණා one MSc student, first batch, she was asking me because they have already done that without paying without deducting LDs, they have paid the total amount. What's the item? But she was in a real this thing that she was telling me. I asked whether you got the head of the department, at least head of the department approval for that. She said, yes, sir, that I have already taken after his signature only that he has released it. She had released it. I don't know what has happened later. After that, she discussed for something else also, but not what happened to that matter. So sometimes they do that. So you'll have to be, that's what I say. This is, you can use as a checklist. Every point is important. I have not explained some points that I told you all. You can understand. Yes, you can understand, but it's another point. You should remember that. අර මම ස්ලිප් කළා වගේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට ස්ලිප් කරලා යන්න බෑ. You can understand. That's why I am slipping that. But you'll have to keep in your mind. If penalties are disputed, ensure proper. Yeah, that I told you all. Legal and administrative clause. Ensure compliance with contractual terms. Yes, those are, you can understand, but it's very important. Resolve outstanding claims or disputes. Yes, before the closure, resolve everything. අර කියන්නේ කිසි දෙයක් තියාගන්න එපා පස්සට කරන්න ගිහිල්ලා සමහරක් අය ඔක්කොම පස්සට දම ඉන්නේ. Close out procurement and legal records. Yes, close, but you keep it. Huh? How many years you'll have to keep documents in your office? If it is a project office, you can give it to the secretary. Secretary's office, you can give it. But if you are working in a department, how many years you will have to keep those procurement files? Normally, it's there in the FR.
So
Financial
5 years,
huh?
5 years after completion?
No, not 5 years. Now I think about 3 years. Now they say 3 years. World Bank, of course, what World Bank is having a very clear rule for that. The government audit or the World Bank audit, till they do the auditing, you'll have to keep the procurement documents. But after 2 years, you can destroy it. If audit or a World Bank audit do the auditing within 6 months, after 6 months, you can destroy that. It's very clear, World Bank and ADB. But government, it says, sometime back it says 5 years, later they says 3 years. Don't you know this government is sending circulars? Every day they are sending circulars now. How many acts they do? Where do they put? I can remember this. They talk very high. Ranil Wickremesinghe's time, within 100 days or something like that, he has put up 100 odd acts in the parliament. හරි ලොකු වැඩක් වගේ කියන්නේ. හැමදාම ඇක්ස් මාරු කර ඇක්ස් වෙනස් කර constitution වෙනස් කර ඉඳ ගියාම පිස්සු හැදෙනවා මේ රටටම. They have put up independent commission. Now procurement commission also, this is happening, it affects us also. To you also. Not for the whole country. They have established procurement commission, National Procurement Commission, independent. It's very good. It's really good thing. Actually, I also involved with that, preparing that preparation of the constitution. I also helped to put that, to establish this National Procurement Commission. So they have put me one period, and the next period also they have continued me. But suddenly, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government, they have discontinued that suddenly without any reason. Right? We prepared all these guidelines, everything. They discontinued. After discontinue that, they found that they can't, how are they going to tackle the procurement problems? The commission is not there. Those days, of course, they just pass into the commission. මොකද මේකට කරන්නේ? Cabinet එක ගියා ටක් ගාලා මොකද මේකට කරන්න කියලා ආලන. So we'll have to do the study and we'll have to give the solution for that. Without thinking everything, they have disconnected. And what they have done? Because they got some problems, they have taken me as a governance advisor to the president to tackle all these procurement problems. So it is something like that. I mean that they are doing I don't blame anybody, but they are, no. I mean, it's අර කියන්නේ නිකන් සිංහලෙන් it's a real අච්චාරු. සම්බාරු. අරකයි මේකයි ඔක්කොම දාලා වන කරගන්න හැම එක්කෙනාම what to do. Anyway, we born in Sri Lanka, what to do. Okay, resolve. මම කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පිටරට යන්න කියලා. But මේකෙම ඉඳලා කොහොම හරි මේක පුළුවන් නම් ගොඩ ගමු. කට්ටියම එක්කව වෙලා. Right. All citizens, if they think everybody, each and everybody, I'll do my part properly. I will do my job properly. So then no problem. I will respect all the other citizens. There are some methods. There are some these things like a checklist. How to behave in the country. Even in the house also same. No? How are you going to behave? Anyway, I need some more. Outstanding claims, disputes are there. Close out procurement and legal records. Very easy to understand. Hand over documentation. Engage stakeholders. Post handover support. Warranty periods and all these things. Training, everything you will have to do it. Government procurement regulations. Require inspection and approval before payment release. For example, Railway Department, final testing of imported train coaches before acceptance. Not only Railway Department, even in the Air Force also. Monohari, are you also involved with some 3 helicopters? There was a repair. They have sent it to repair for Turkish. Like that, there are some problems. Lessons learned and reporting. You have heard that. Types of contracts in public procurement. There are some contracts. It's called force account contracts. Actually, there are about 100 odd contracts. But here we have keep a few important main contracts. Force account contracts. So that means now, say for example, you are working in agriculture ministry. No, you are working in RDA, Pro Development Authority. So you want to have in one area you want to put tarmac. අර තාර දාලා පොඩ්ඩක් ප්‍රෙපෙයාර් කරලා අරාමයා කරලා බොක්කක් කැඩලා තියෙනවා හදලා මෙයා කරන්න. If your labor can do it, so you do it. Then no point to go for a procurement method. No procurement involved. Your people are doing that. So that is called force account contracts. The other one is rate-based contracts. So that is අපි ගෙවල් හදද්දි දෙන්නේ rate base. කපරාරුවට මෙච්චරයි. ගල් බඳින්න මෙච්චරයි. Concrete දාන්න මෙච්චරයි. Something like that, rate-based contract. And now, the other one is the most important type, competitive bidding contracts. Competitive bidding, always it's number one, competition. There only you get all transparency, fairness, value for money, everything is there in the competitive bidding. If there is no competitive bidding or a problems in bidding, then it's a corruption or a fraudulent practices. There are so many fraudulent practices also. Corrupt practice, fraudulent practice, coercive practice, collusive practice, obstructive practice. Like that, there is a separate lecture series on fraudulent practices. If I show you, when I know I don't have time. If you have, I will tell. It's in my book cracks that when I studied that fraudulent practices, the file is something like this. I will try to show you all. No, I can't find. I will find and let you know. With regard to the fraudulent practices, I did 1 month course in a university outside the country. The file is something like this. So that means that's what I am trying to tell you all. Fraudulent practices are very high all over the world. You know, in 2024, global fraudulent practices, global corruption is $3.5 million trillion. 3.5 trillion dollar millions. Such a huge amount. Altogether, global procurement amount is 13 million trillion dollars. Out of that, 1 trillion is for the bribery, 2.6 trillion is other corruption and the fraudulent practices all over the world. So that means whole world corrupted. But the percentage wise, we are in 131 out of 180 countries. We are on 117 or something like that. The country like Denmark, 0 fraudulent practices and the corruption. Corruption 0 in Denmark. And the other country, Norway also same. The last country, 186 or something like that, it's Zambia and some other country. Right.
So that corruption percentage, I think that most developing countries have the highest corruption index, right?
No. Developed countries, they are in a list. I mean, if you take from 1 to 190 countries, number 1, 0 corruption, Denmark. Then what I told you is what other country?
Zambia.
No.
Zambia.
Zambia is the last. Highest corruption, Zambia.
Netherlands.
Not the Netherlands. No. Netherlands also first 10. Netherlands also there in the first 10. 0 corruption is Denmark. Then Norway. Norway also close to 0 corruption. We are in 117 or 131 or something like that. I have all the details in other lecture. I can remember all these things, figures. But the 185, 89 is Zambia, Namibia, and that type of countries. Somalia, I think Somalia is the highest corrupted country. Right. So, this one is a lump sum, fixed price contracts, LCSC, lump sum. So that means that before I explain these things you can read out. I will explain you all. It's easy to understand. Lump sum means the full amount. Now you are given a contractor to put up your house, okay? 30 million I will give you. You put up the house. This is the plan and everything. You give like you are taking a apartment, something like that. So you do the contract work and lump sum you pay him. Not lump sum means that don't put all together in once, but part by part, but the fixed sum. And the unit price contract is like rate-based, same unit price contract. And the other one is cost reimbursable contracts. So that is, they do work, according to the work, you will reimburse. with their profit, they will charge you. So you'll have to, without a profit, people are not working, no. So you'll have to reimbursable. And the public-private partnership, PPP contracts, I told you from the beginning, it's a separate subject. We are doing to you all. And the time-based contract, mainly the consultancy work. Now, somebody is taking me as a consultant. Now, I did so many countries, other countries, ADB projects and all these things. They have taken me as a consultant and they gave me a work. According to the how many days I am working, they pay me. Say for a day, they pay 100,000 rupees with the hotel accommodation, transport, everything. And in addition to that, my payment is 100,000 per day. Suppose that's the normal rates. So like that, if I work for 14 days, they will pay 14 lakhs for me. Those are my charges, but all the other things, the up and down, the business class, traveling, everything is free. The hotel, meals, everything. So that is time-based. Depending on the time, they pay. Those are the contracts, right? Force accounts, now you can see. Go through that. I have explained you. The other one, this is the force account. Now, allowed under this is a force account that I have put something here. Local authorities handling post-disaster road rehabilitation using in-house resources. Yes, in-house. Tamangi department take kattiya da karana. In a procurement guidelines also it's mentioned 4.2.3 of the National Procurement Guidelines 2006. I was referring to the previous one, but in 2024 also in our one also it's there. Rate-based, I told you all. So the Lanka hospitals, they have given me assignment to prepare their procurement manuals. So there they want rate-based, yes. There they want the rate-based contracts to purchase in the medicines and other these things. The rate-based contracts they prefer. So I have introduced them for the framework agreement for that. It's another vast area, vast subject, framework agreement. I think unfortunately they have not put into your syllabus. I told the dean and the head of department also, if there is a possibility to put that framework agreement also, that is very important.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry?
Those franchise agreements, those are comes under this rate based contracts. Franchise.
No. Franchise is a different one. Framework agreement is another different. It's a arrangement. It's a procurement arrangement. Framework agreement. That is entirely different from the franchise. Franchise is it's not. There is no relationship between these two. Only the F is there. Yeah, we are starting from F, franchise and the framework. So framework agreement is that. I will say small little explanation. You pre-qualify, advertise, you take the people. Now computer suppliers, okay? You qualified about 10 computer suppliers in Sri Lanka. So that is you sign the agreement called framework agreement with them. After that, whenever you want, you do the call of contracts. Those are the contracts. It's very one-day contract, right? One day you send a letter. That is called call of contract. You get the computers from them. If you won't send it to the Jaffna, if you want to buy it to the Candy government department, you can do that. I have practiced this in COVID time when I was a president's procurement advisor, because there was a big issue. Hospitals, police, army, navy, ඔක්කොමන්ටම දවස් 3ටයි කෑම තිබ්බේ. I think you all can remember. පරිප්පුවේම 225ට තිබිච්ච එක 600 ගානකට ගියා. So there was a severe how. I will tell you all one day, if I get a time, I will explain you all how I introduced that framework agreement in Sri Lanka. It's there. Still, it's activating. Right. So those are the rate-based ones. Key points, yeah, I have given something. Competitive bidding contracts, you'll have to advertise and do that. Types of competitive bidding. ICB, NCB, you have heard those procurement methods. All are competitive methods. Lump sum contract, I told you all. One lump sum, fixed amount. And unit price, if you buy 1,000 computers, per computer price is there. And this is example, civil engineering projects also there. How many kilometers? That's also unit. Common in Road Development Authority, RDA projects. Cost reimbursable contracts. Cost take a reimburse karna. How much they have spent the contractor, you give it back to contractor, reimbursable. And the last one is public-private partnership. I told you that we are doing. It's a full course like contract management. It's a full course, public-private partnership. PPP, that is 3P. Sometimes it can be a 4P also. Public, private, people partnership. It's very interesting. We can learn it later. That part I'm doing because this one. Right, okay. You get 10 minutes, but carefully read. I have sent it this presentation, but some things I recently add it's not there. I will send this also to the university. You can correct it from there. Okay. What are the areas that you need questions?
Sir, is there any possibility that you can provide us some real contracts that we can go through and have an idea?
Real what?
Contracts.
Real contract. Oh, yes, contracts are there. But it's large contracts.
So if you can add to the LMS, so we can go through later and we can have an idea. So what's the difference between the acceptance letter, the award, the agreement, and
Actually, there are all are different contracts. Now,
Yes.
when you are thinking about information system, it's entirely different. Construction, works, building, entirely different contracts. The instruction to be but I will tell you all, I will give you some idea. You can go to the website, World Bank website. You can go and not the physical contract signed by somebody, but the contract format is contract details are there. Now, now I will show you all. Now, for the further studies, you can get this. I think it's a This is the ministry one. Finance ministry, you can't see it, I think. No, it's not clear, but it's okay. I will just read it down. If you want, I can send a mail also. Guide to project management and contract management for infrastructure development projects, works, building Hadanaramewa, not the information system. Implemented by the government of Sri Lanka, Ministry of Finance. This booklet you can see, there you can do a lot of, you can learn a lot of things. Everything is there. Letters, formats, track types, everything is.
Yes, there's a 2017 one also.
Yeah, they have new one also. Yeah, this is 2017, February 2017. But I think it's a new one is there. Maybe recent one, the revision also there. I'm not involved with that. This is from the finance ministry. And this is advanced. This is, of course, you won't be able to find out. This is one of my study material. I went in ILO, Italy. I did diplomas and MSc, so many exams. There, this is some lecture notes, all are lecture notes. And I have taken the information and installation of information systems. There I will show you all the contract, general condition of contract. Now, yeah. From here, they are starting from the general the contract. What do you call the contract? Standard contracts. It's there. That is starting from 77, page number 780, up to oh my God, up to yeah, up 80, up to nearly about 300 pages. So it's a fairly big, the contract is. So therefore, it's a contract format you can find, the standard formats you can find out like this. This book also I have taken from the, for me, of course, they have sent me the printed copies, World Bank. But you can go to the World Bank website and you can see those, but different information system, different one, the works different one, and the consultancy different one, something like that. But if you are interested in some area, you can ask me. I will give you my telephone numbers and everything later. Or you can write down. I will give you not 777-572-381. Not 777. I'll put it here. I think I can put it here. Not 777-572-381. Maybe I think I have given in that this one also, the planning time also I gave it to you. Oh, anyway, CHRICTA@gmail.com. If you want, you can ask anytime. Call me. Only thing, if you are calling, that sometimes if I can't identify you, I might not answer. But you can send me a message that you are the student from this one. Then I will ask you to call. Other questions? Any other questions? Separately, if you want something, you separately call me and get that. Any other question?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
one thing we discussed in the first stage, sir. So the notification for intention to award.
Yeah.
So it is is after signing contract agreement also before that one? So
Before
because
that.
of before, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
After doing all that is now, those are the transparency issues in procurement. Intention to award the contract means that's the transparency, fairness. You are sending all the people, okay, this is this tender, this is the person that we have already selected, his price is this, his all details are there, and why you have not selected. That reason also you have to give. If there are three, X, Y, Z, three participants are there, you have given the contract to X, then you write to X first, then subsequently you'll have to send it to all the people. Why you send it to Y? The X has been intention, we have an intention to අපේ අදහසක් තියෙනවා මෙයාට දෙන්න. මෙයා තමයි දැන් තේරලා ඉන්නේ. ඇයි ඔයා තේරුන්නේ? Why you are not selected? You give a brief explanation. Z also you give a why Z is not selected. The reasons. That is called intention letter. So that means not the awarding letter. They are then.
So the awarding letter is after the notification of intention letter, isn't it, sir? So the agreement after that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the process. Okay. Any other question? You can keep all the, if you want, you can keep the questions in the next lecture. I mean, next lecture also I am doing to you. About 2-3 lectures I am doing in this. I have purposely taken for you all, because you all are MSc students, that I want to do it in a real practical way. Then I can do it. That's what I have. Although I have some work that I have taken, okay, no problem, I will take it. What are the, again, some questions? You have another 2 minutes. Have you understand what I told you all in this lesson?
Yes, sir. Actually, really, and we understand. Actually, further we expecting further the deeply, because of this most of issues are with regard to the contract administration issues. So in future, we hope and your advice regarding the settlement of these in better ways.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your
Okay, no problem. Where are you working? That the person you called me?
Yes, sir. I am in the project, in the climate smart irrigated agriculture project. It's under the World Bank funded, sir.
Oh, right. Very good, very good. Only thing that because of these Zoom classes, I can't discuss with you all personally. Anyway, you can ask any question. You may have any problem that I know that you all, wherever you need any help, that I'm prepared to give you all. So other thing is that when you do starting the work only, you get some problems. Then only. Now, maybe that some students are pure students that without any knowledge, because they have done something else. They have not involved with the procurement project, but it's okay, never mind. This is like a new subject, you have to learn. It's not a big issue. You all have come for the first some meeting. They have invited me when it's a new students taken your batch. You all have come. You all have seen.
Yeah, we have been there, so yes.
Right. That Kavin is there. Kavin. He was my university students and he diploma student and so many.
He's in a previous batch, I think.
Previous, second batch, no? Kavin is in the.
Yes.
I have my few students, and Asanka is there, I think. Asanka. the Deloitte. I couldn't ask him whether he is coming for the lectures. Anyway, most of the students in the middle way that they are stopping the continuing. But you should continue that. It's very important. There is no MSc procurement people in Sri Lanka. And highly paid profession, this one, in other countries. Therefore, it's very important.
Please introduce that SIPs as well, sir. SIPs, please introduce that.
SIPs, what do you say?
That procurement chapter.
No, sir, you mentioned that chartered qualification.
Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply.
Yeah.
CIPS, SIPS.
Yes.
SIPSA is Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply Australia branch. SIPS UK is Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply UK branch. It's something like that.
So that's why he's asking, make it happen to have it in Sri Lanka.
Yeah. I will. Sometimes I will work out on that matter. Halfway, not halfway. I have started, but I couldn't this thing because of they have stopped this commission at that time. But in the procurement, when I was in the president office also, I didn't have a time to do that because there are so many other problems, COVID vaccine, and here and there, so many problems. I was interviewing those things, and I didn't have a time. Yeah, if I have a time, I'll discuss with them, and I will try to establish here, if it is possible. Can do it. But only thing that my case, of course, find out this time, and also I'm not involved with the procurement procurement commission now. Actually, the commission will have to start from the commission that they will have to start this. They are the authority, no. EGP also same, electronic government procurement also same. But I have started and I have done the main things there. Chartered Institute one, I couldn't. I'm a member, but I couldn't do it in Sri Lanka. Shall we stop then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome.
Have a nice week.
Okay. Same to you. Same to you. Situ Gamagi.